It is match day Sunday as Austin FC takes on LAFC in the Western Conference Final. The last time both teams played against each other was back in August, which Austin FC surprised the entire MLS as they beat and massacred LAFC by a score of 4-1 from the goals of Sebastian Driussi, Dale Fagundes, and Maxi Ruti. But it's not the first time Austin FC beat LAFC in the same year. Earlier this year, Austin FC beat LAFC by a score of 2-1 from the goals of Ruben Garriasen and Diego Fagundes, making it the first time in club history beating LAFC at their home field at the Bank. So for Austin FC, this is the first time in the club history making to a Western Conference Final. What a complete 180 turn it's been for the Verde and Black, from being second to last place in the Western Conference to now being Western Conference finalists. But for LAFC, this is the fourth time in their club history making to an MLS playoffs, because they made it 4 times. Back in 2018-2020, they made it to the round 1 phase. They missed out last year's 2021 MLS playoffs, and the closest they made it this far to an MLS Cup final was losing to Seattle Sounders in the Western Conference Final back in 2019, and this is the second time in their club history making it to a Western Conference Final, and it's playing against us, Austin FC. Because the thing about LAFC is that the pressure is on them, because LAFC are winners of the Supporters Shield. Back in 2019, they were winners of that year's Supporters Shield, but they lost to Seattle Sounders in the Western Conference Final. So could the same thing happen for LAFC against Austin FC? We don't know. We'll have to find out today at the Bank or at today Sunday, because the last time a team who's won both MLS Cup and Supporters Shield was Toronto FC back in 2017. That year too, they won their Canadian Championship, making their own domestic treble. So could the same thing happen? Could LAFC break the curse and win a MLS Cup with the Supporters Shield? We have to find out as well. Because the record for both teams is that Austin FC has 2 wins but 3 losses. The 2 wins Austin FC has gotten from LAFC happened this year, back at the Bank by a 2-1 score, and at Q2 by that 4-1 massacre. But the 3 losses Austin FC got from LAFC happened last year, in our first ever year as a club, but we were still developing a team. Because our record still at the Bank, at California, LAFC's home ground field, is that we have 1 loss and 1 win. The first loss from LAFC happened from our first ever game of our historic year, losing to LAFC in a 2-0 score, but we got that 2-1 score that we beat them earlier this year back in May. Because for Austin FC, they have to focus and be the same team they were this year when they beat LAFC 2 times in this year. But putting out the strong 11 is going to be important, but who's going to start in the front 9? Maxi Ruti or Jite? And who's going to focus? Because I feel like LAFC is going to put a whole park the bus defensive team, because they don't want to mess around. They don't want to make the same mistakes as they did those 2 losses they got. They want to be focused, because they're going to be a complete team. Because now they got their central midfield player, or in the 6th player, and that's Elias Sanchez. Because the defense and midfield of LAFC are going to focus mostly on Danny Pereira, Diego Fagundes, and Sebastian Driussi. But if we put Jita in, he's going to be a great distraction for it. But before I get to that, let's talk about the main 4 players of LAFC who provide a lot of firepower for them. These 4 players helped LAFC make it this far to the Western Conference Final. And the 4 players are Carlos Vela, he has 12 goals and 9 assists. He leads the team with the most assists, and that's 9. Chicho Arango has 16 goals and 4 assists. He leads the team with the most goals in that team, and that's 16. He is also an MVP finalist alongside with Driussi in this year's 2022 MLS season. Jose Cifuentes has 7 goals and 6 assists to his name, and I may butcher his first name. Guado Opoko has 7 goals and 2 assists. So, for Austin FC's defense, the back 4 alongside with Stu and Danny Pereira, they have to focus mostly on Chicho Arango. Chicho Arango likes to play as a striker, but mostly he likes to drift wide on the right wing, on the left wing spot, but mostly he's a right wing player. I've seen this before, and who's going to do it for that? Either Nick Lima has to start, because Nick Lima has been a great right back spot for us player this entire playoff run. He did a great performance against RSO. It took him, he had a decent game against FC Dallas. It took him a while to make a pass, but he still provided good, defensive actions against Alan Velasco in that FC Dallas win. But for Nick Lima, the thing too is that Carlos Vela likes to play as a, center. He likes to be the false 9 entire time, likes to be a striker, or he can be mostly as a right wing spot. So it's gonna be a drift wide between Chicho Arango and Carlos Vela. So for Nick Lima, he has to focus on 2 of those players, of Arango and Carlos Vela. Because for our dynamic duo defense of Garvias and Cascante focus on Naranjo, close him up, and put him in his pocket the entire time. Because for our Austin FC's offense, we have to put out Gita no matter what. I would say Machiruti could be a good source, but putting Gita, it's gonna be risky. I may say that, even though I said it, I like him to start, because when it comes to Gita's first game, let's say one game he starts, full 100% performance, but in the second game, he shows 80%, but still he's not getting the full 20% he's done in the first performance, which is the 100%. But for Gita, if he starts, he's going to focus mostly on Elias Sanchez, the player who balances out the defense and midfield of LAFC. Because also, right wing spot, start Ethan Finley. He's had 2 decent games in the playoffs this year, but put him in 60 a minute, Rigoni, we need his crossing, we need his firepower, we need fresh pair of leg. And our 2 impact players for this game, Fagundes and Driussi, he has to carry the team, and Fagundes has to provide good passing and key assists. Because for LAFC, their defense, they helped LAFC make it this year in the Western Conference Finals, and they don't want to do the same mistakes against Austin FC again the 3rd time against us, because 3rd time's a charm, I guess. But for LAFC, these 4 players of the defense are Jesus Murillo. He leads the team with the most dribbles, won at 71%, 31 tackles out of the 44 attempts. So basically in a 1-1 situation, let's say Dani Pereira against Murillo will win. Diego Palacios leads the team with the most tackles, and that's 64%, 56 tackles out of the 88 attempts. He will win those tackles. So let's say Driussi against Palacios will win. Kylian Acosta is 2nd place with the most blocks, and that's 26. He has 5 shots blocked, but mostly his key target is the 21 passes he has blocked the entire season. So we have to be careful with our passing, mostly on Diego Fagundes and Dani Pereira. And the player who balances out the defense and midfield player of LAFC is Elias Sanchez. Elias Sanchez didn't play against Austin FC at Q2 because he was suspended, which made Austin FC beat LAFC in a 4-1 score. But for Elias Sanchez, he leads the team with the most tackles, and that's 67%. That's 32 attempts out of the 52 dribbles he's won. So basically he's gonna win, well, attempts. But he leads the team with the most passing, and that's 1,289 out of 1,554, and that's 83% passing. But his short passing is the one that leads the most. 575 out of 640, that's 90% short. But the most weakness of Elias Sanchez has to be his dribble. 33 tackles, one of the 75 tackles. He's won only 44%. So Dani Pereira, Diego Fagundes, Sebastian Driussi can go pass by him like this. So for Austin FC, it has to be mentality, play the same way as they beat LAFC, but it's going to be completely different. LAFC don't want to do the same mistakes, but it's going to be a narrow game for the Verde and Black. I would say Austin FC will come out victorious in a 2-1 score, 2 goals from Sebastian Driussi, and taking us to the promised land. That's the MLS Cup final. But we'll see what happens. I hope this video is understandable. My name is Vanilla Mexican 17. I'll be back here with a reaction video, but for the meantime, good luck, you guys. Stay hydrated, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.